Megyn, I did want to ask you about Putin, though, because I know you have met him, you have interviewed him. I know you can't psychoanalyze him, but I think once you've sat down with someone face to face, you do get a little bit of an idea of their character.
Well, I mean, I interviewed him 3 times in the past few years. And look, Putin, he's in control of what you think of him, or so he believes. If he wants to charm you, he will charm you. If he wants to threaten you, he will threaten you. He's nothing but more than a manipulator in his interpersonal relationships. He's a KGB guy. You know, he was in the KGB for most of his formative years. He, as you've heard by now, views the collapse of the Soviet Union as the biggest catastrophe of the 20th century. And I think when you're sitting across from the guy, I'll give you a couple of examples. He knew that I was the mother of 3 young children, so he was quick to compliment his own mother and talk about his relationship with his mom and how important she was to him. Now, when does Vladimir Putin engage in such talk with any American journalist or journalist at all? Right? He was trying to disarm me, to soften me toward him in advance of the interview. Then when I was interviewing him and it was contentious, he mentioned my 3 children. He mentioned my children as an aside, which was, you know, you could argue a veiled threat. This is a man who's had journalists killed, who is poisoning recently dissidents in his country and in his chief opposition, Navalny, among others. So, you know, was it an accident that he mentioned my children in a contentious interview? Probably not. And then when I sat with him and with Prime Minister Modi of India, and we were at the presidential palace in St. Petersburg for quite some time together, the 3 of us having tea and enjoying one another's company. And in that setting, he kept complimenting my appearance, and it wasn't a come on. It was an attempt to diminish, right? It was an attempt to sort of, you know, on the fire pole, if you'll forgive me. It's like, it's the, you know, I'm more powerful than you. I'm going to put you in your place, and you're going to understand that I'm the one in command. And finally, when we got on stage another time and had a very contentious exchange about Syria, he got right in my face, Dan. I mean, he got angry. I mean, there was literally like spit coming out of his mouth, very defensive about what Russia did in Syria, what they didn't do, and how dare you. And there was the moment where I was like, am I going to leave Russia like upward, vertically, or am I going to leave like in a bag? Because it's happened. So he is ruthless. You know, he is ruthless, and he will stop at nothing to get what he wants. And every interpersonal relationship is part of his cunning nature, his will to make you see him as he wishes.
Absolutely fascinating, Megyn. Love that.